I'm Tyler.
And I'm Ryan, and this is Retrobit Unplugged. Tyler, welcome to episode 4. So last week, we had a solid week. This week we have some exciting, very exciting, I don't want to say news, but we had the opportunity to interview this last week. But before we get to that, we're going to cover a few things.
Got some business to handle.
We do have some business. So before we get into what you're going to talk about first, I do want to just go over something. This is not on your notes. This is on my notes. Okay. 250 batting average, 2 home runs.
Oh my god!
It's 4 RBIs and 2
Juan
walks.
Soto.
It's Juan Soto. I had to put those in my notes. So
No, you didn't actually put them.
I did put those in my notes. So
He did. Hey, it's spring training. Chill out. They ain't trying.
I'm just saying the second home run is trying to catch up to the first home run. So with that being said, I'm really curious to see how your hot take plays out. My hot take is going very good so far because the Spurs are falling apart. But Mr. Fox.
What about your Soto? No. So what about your Ohtani one?
I don't even think he's pitched yet.
He's not pitching until April.
He's not pitching until April. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that Juan Soto stats, just keeping that spring training. Just so the camera knows, you don't have these notes the same. So I wanted to show that. But anyways, what we will get into is league updates. So Tyler, commissioner of our NBA, how's that league going?
Well, after some totally unnecessary intro bit. What we got here? Well, we can start off with. I'll just pick a random one. I don't want to go in order.
RBM
RB. I mean, you want to go in order?
Well, I think you start off with that one because it's your own league, Mr. Commissioner.
I don't want to be that guy. You start to pick them up. All right, we will. we have begun the playoffs. Well, not really begun. Submissions are now underway, but technically speaking,
season's
two
over.
Playoffs are started. Yes, the regular season is in fact over with yours truly sitting at the number 1 seed.
So you're rigging the
yeah,
season
totally.
again?
I'm totally yes. There is rigging.
Okay.
Now,
actually, this is season 3, isn't it?
2.
No, this is 3.
2.
Because Philly Asterisk won the first one, and then you won the second one. So this is season 3. I wrote it down wrong.
It is 3.
It is 3.
I have to do my own graphic.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
I will be doing that after this recording session.
I'm glad it's okay.
Good catch. I did not. My own league didn't catch this.
It's all good.
Before we move on, I do want to make the announcement that we are going to go into a little bit of a break at the end of this season. Try and get some of those recruitment numbers up before we come back with the 4th season now. Apparently, that they don't.
I like it.
But yeah, we have that CFL. North Florida won the national championship again. That is also on spring break for a week.
Are we launching an investigation on North Florida yet, or
if he wins after the break for a three-peat? Yes.
Okay. Well, I do want to mention there are wanted posters all over social media right now for the takedown of North Florida. So
yes, if you think you have the ability to take down this team for us, please. He's too good. We need help. Everyone's tried.
We do need help. So, calling all players.
It's kind of a compliment to him, honestly.
It really is.
In-season tournament for RBM.
Yeah. Washington won his first anything. Anything. He hasn't won a chip or anything. So, shout out to Washington.
Shout out. I don't know what that is. Shout out.
AFL?
Playoffs.
They're in the playoffs. Okay.
Season 24.
Nice.
It's Kobe season.
Rip.
I don't know who's in it. I have not really. I've not been involved with the AFL for a minute, so
all I know is Q has done great work.
Q has done great work. Yes,
He's really kept that league together. I think the idea from the original commissioner was there, but Q has just like elevated that league to really what the RBL expects. So, and I think we left this recruitments on as always. Tyler, who we're recruiting for? Really, everyone.
Everyone. Yep. Not really one specific league is looking for like everyone. Even RBM right now?
RBM is full. But every other league.
Last time we did this, there was openings, and then now there isn't.
So you know what?
That shows how fast that fills up.
It fills up very fast. You know what I forgot to put on here? And begrudgingly, I didn't put on here. But college basketball just finished up their season, and I'm pretty sure Marquette and Loyola College just won his 9th. So he's won 9 now. Again, I seem to always lose in the championship game. Unless I am Coastal Carolina in CFL. He has also lost 3 straight. So I do think we should check on him after this.
Sounds good.
Probably. But yeah, that's updates. Good job, Tyler. Oh, yeah.
Oh, can't even see that.
I know. Can't even see that.
I'll put it back here. Your hands will magically teleport to the camera.
So,
what's on tap for today, good sir?
What is on tap? So we had the opportunity. Today is Thursday. We had the opportunity on Sunday to sit down with the founder of the RBM, Mr. Alex Ray. Alex has successfully. We talked about in the interview. We're up to 55, 56 seasons of the RBM. Incredible. Considering even like.
Wait, how many are we at? Sorry, real
quick. 54. This is the 55th season right now.
I joined in the 30s, so I've already been here 20 seasons.
You have. I joined.
Good God!
I joined in season 17. To put it in perspective, I've been in the league for just over 2 years now.
I've been in this for 20 seasons. And I have nothing to my name except I have some all first players, but like.
Well, it doesn't help that Miami has had 2 cakewalks in a row. Alex went back and checked, just so you know, before we get into our awesome interview. 2 seasons in a row, Miami had scores of teams against him that scored less than 30 points in 2 back-to-back playoffs.
Through the entire run?
Through both runs.
Yep.
So I'm asking for a full investigation of that league as well. Something about Florida teams. Something's a little fishy.
Maybe they're too crazy and no one wants to intervene.
Probably. So, but that being said, we interviewed Alex. We got to sit down for a nice segment. He talks about really what inspired him to start the RBM, what really brought him to just his passion and all that. But I think it's a great segment. So insert some cutesy little fa la 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 music, and let's transition over to that interview.
I'll try.
Alex, well, thank you for joining us today on Retrobit Unplugged. This has been really exciting for us. We wanted the pleasure of our first interview to be really the OG of Retro Bowl leagues, is how I would put you. Coming from the great state of Iowa, I see you representing Iowa State today. They had a good day yesterday in the combine. Saw a few players over there.
Yeah, he's the wide receiver. He's number 1 in the vertical jump or something I saw. So
yeah, so way to represent. I love it. One day San Jose State will represent, but not today.
Yeah, maybe.
So awesome. Well, today Alex Ray is our guest. He is really the pioneer, I feel like, for what leagues have become. And started with RBM. You were also the commissioner of the college basketball league.
Yep.
And You're a teacher?
Yeah, I'm kind of a jack of all trades at my school. I'm the athletic director, PE teacher, I teach health, I'm the transportation director, and then I coach several sports. So kind of do a lot here at this tiny school in Iowa.
Nice. Well, we're gonna dive into the questions. So
Great.
why Retro Bowl? Why Retro Bowl, and how you became the commissioner of the RBM?
So I've always had a passion for football. Um, I've enjoyed it. I went out for it in middle school before I realized my body wasn't physically ready for a football, so I ended up being a cross country runner instead. But back in November or December of 2021 is when I really dove into the Retro Bowl world. Um, that's when I was first hooked. The RBCDL was the first league I was a part of. I think that was the first league for a lot of new coaches back then. So that was always that league that I think that was one of the very first leagues that was part of the Retro Bowl community. So I was the Iowa State Cyclones back then. Like I said, I'm a diehard fan. I have season tickets for every season, and I'm actually flying to Ireland to go to the Iowa State game here in August. So, anyways, the RBCDL, it was 3-minute quarters back then. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Just seeing all those great OG coaches. I was putting up 80, 90 points, and that was putting me in the bottom half of the league. So I just kind of, yeah, it was pretty stacked back then. So I saw the Retro Bowl Facebook group. I joined it. I saw this guy named Reagan Kelly promoting a league called the RFL, Retro Football League. It was on Discord. I joined that league, and it was just like a breath of fresh air. It was it was an extreme difficulty, so it was pretty tough. I went winless my first season, but the whole concept of the league was just so unique that made me come back each and every season. It was a 12-game regular season, played in just single game segments, just like the RBM FL is. One game a day was posted on the Discord channel, and the commissioner updated results daily. I was hooked and started exploring other leagues. Yeah, so the RFL kind of went defunct pretty quick. I think I joined on the tail end of they had several seasons under their belt, so I was in there for 2 or 3 seasons. And the commissioner just started to get busy with life, and the league just kind of went defunct. But my passion for that league, I loved the way the environment was, single game segments, and I didn't want to let that go. So I kind of created my own league in January. I copied the rules from RFL and started promoting it in that Retro Bowl Facebook group as a 16 team league. And those spots filled like overnight. It was like 12 hours, and we had all those spots filled. It was pretty quick, and then we ended up kicking off that league on January 17th of 2022. Things were so different back then. Like the RFL, the commissioner, he used his iPhone notes apps for everything, all his results, his playoffs, everything. So that's where my sheets came from. Like I started with my iPhone notes. I still have all the information back from season 1 on my notes. It was around season 8, I believe, is when we started transitioning to Google Sheets. And that kind of just made my life a lot easier. And then back in season 16, the league office, the league council, some of you guys talk about the secret council, started talking about expansion into a 32-team league. And I was completely for it, but the biggest issue was the amount of effort putting into my notes and everything, creating the schedule and all that. So I reached out to the Excel commissioner, Tyler Harris, and he built me a sheet in a matter of days, a 32-team sheet. So that was pretty impressive that he put in that work for me. So then that league started in January of 2023, and just been rolling since then. The 16 spots filled just as quick. And we just hit the 50th anniversary here a couple months ago, so we're still going strong.
No, and I do want to shout out, we had gone into a pinch in the college league, and you came through like completely in the clutch, matter of days and was able to build a similar sheet. A little more expansive, but shout out to you on that one.
Yeah, no problem. I've built a lot of sheets, and that's kind of one of those things that I kind of like doing. I do have someone that helps me, obviously, with the sheet work, but yeah, I just love building those kind of sheets for leagues. And I built the one for RBWF, and a couple other leagues as well. So
nice. Well, over 50 seasons. Congrats. I mean, when you started it, like you said, 16 teams, you probably were like, I hope this goes, for a while, but over 50 seasons, I got to ask, what is your favorite league moment?
Oh man, I don't know. Do I have to pick just one?
you don't. You got a couple. It's here.
Yeah, 50 seasons was a pretty remarkable feat. One thing I enjoy watching is a coach win their very first title in the league. Like I think the last one has been season 38 already, back in Jacksonville, Josh Freeman. But it's just seeing that them being so happy, they're excited to finally overcome that barrier, go through the playoffs, and finally get their first championship. So I think that's one of my more favorite league moments is just seeing that new coach finally get that win.
Well, with all the new coaches that we've had over the last probably 10 seasons, it's got to happen pretty soon. So
yeah, exactly. I think we finally hit that dry streak. I think someone's going to finally win their first championship coming up. So yeah, you, Tyler. I've been looking forward. I've been waiting for you. You finally got your first championship the other weekend, if I remember correctly. So you were so close in RBM. Your score in the semifinal, in the conference championship, I thought you were for sure going to win that game. And then, yeah, you just fell short. But I think it's going to happen soon.
Yeah, I'm still bitter. Miami had a cakewalk to that, but I digress.
Yeah, no. Yep.
So, over 50 seasons, where you're moving forward, where do you see the future of the leagues heading?
So, I think we've kind of definitely hit a dry spell in all of our leagues. Recruiting's been becoming tough. A big part of it is just user burnout. I think a lot of us are in so many different leagues. But also the NFL season ending also played in a big part. I do think eventually the dry spell will end and the leagues will rebound from it. Some of the retired coaches are going to end up coming back. I think Simon, the owner of Retro Bowl, just needs to find ways to engage his users. I mean, we just passed the 5-year anniversary here in January that elapsed since the Apple launch. So I'm not sure what this will look like, but I think the beta users are going to come up with plenty of ideas to bring the game back to its glory days.
I agree. I think every time NFL college season ends, everyone kind of gets back to, the off-season type-esque in their life. And
yeah, and a big picture, like normally in RBM, we kind of fill our spots pretty quickly. And these past couple openings, it kind of took longer than I kind of expected it to fill. So that you can kind of just see that the recruiting is coming tough.
I agree. Being a commissioner myself, I 100% agree. So gonna shift gears just a little bit. So we've talked about leagues, but the games themselves. If you could change one thing about the games, what would it be?
Yeah, I think it would be nice for Simon to just become more open to the idea of being league friendly. I know he has said that he wouldn't cater to the leagues, but I think this is something that you might have to consider with the numbers dwindling like they are. An easy change would be to allow more flexibility with the schedule. For like all leagues, it matters who you're matched up with. Honestly, like luck plays a big factor. If you're playing a 5-star team and your opponent's playing a 2-star, chances are you're going to lose that game. So just kind of maybe allowing users to pick their opponent's star ratings can make leagues more even across the board. The commissioners could set the schedule. So both teams are going to play a 2-star team in week 1. Both teams will play like a 5-star team in week 2, so on and so forth, to allow a little more even across the board, if that makes sense.
Should have had that on our top 10 things we wish Retro Bowl had.
Yeah.
No, I like that. And I think about that, especially in championship games, how often we see, somebody puts up a 60 because they face a 2-star in the championship game, but yet the other guy's going up against the 5-star.
Yeah, and even in like all of our playoffs, for the most part, playing in that last regular season game, it's a toss-up. Like that one opponent, you could be playing the cupcake schedule, and your other opponent's playing a 5-star, and you just lose because it's just luck. Because yeah, it's that last regular season game, so you never know who you're going to be matched up with.
And mine lately has been San Francisco in game, who has been a consistent 5-star every season. So
it's always going to be tough.
I got Cleveland, and Cleveland like a 2-star for me every week 18. So I look forward to it every time.
Yeah, exactly.
this season this is the first season I haven't had SF the last week. I have Arizona, but I won't give away my scores, but I have a rough end of the season. So
do it.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to shift it to Tyler. He's going to take the last 2 questions for you.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, we know you're loving it. Well, let's shift away from there. What is your favorite retro bit game? Not for new stars, but just in general. Favorite game ever?
So that kind of is a tough one. I think I would have to pick the old school Roller Coaster Tycoon game. I used to play this game with my grandparents all the time. I was addicted to the game. I actually came across the Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic app on my phone a few months ago, so I've been playing that weekly. It just brings back those days of sitting at your grandparents and playing games and hanging out with them. So, yeah, that's probably my favorite RetroBit game.
I was going to say I wasn't expecting that, but I have it both on my phone and my computer right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Exactly what I think.
Yeah, you just kind of build your own amusement park. So you get all those details of building a bunch of different things, so different rides and all that, and just managing a park.
That sounds kind of fun, actually.
Yeah. And the classic one's always the best. They've come out with a bunch of different versions by now, but I think the classic one's the OG. So, and that's the retro bit version. So.
Well, hey man, is there anyone you want to shout out? Is there anyone you want to give a little?
Yeah, I actually do have a few people. So Eric Adi, he became my day one ride or die volunteering for being my deputy commissioner in RBM and just helping out where needed. He's also helped me build an early version of a Google Sheet when I took over the basketball league back in season 27. He has just done so much for me in the leagues I commission as a whole and just as the organization, the RBL, everything. So my next one would be Kiwanaki Ramsey. Every OG in this league can attest that my graphics in season 1 probably were not the very best. And Q, he actually stepped up and volunteered to help me with the graphics right away in that season. He has done so much for me for the playoffs, the Hall of Fame graphics, and all other league-related graphics. That definitely took a weight off my shoulders, knowing that I could rely on him for this role. Tyler Harris, the commissioner of the XL League, I want to thank him for building my first ever automated Google Sheet. Without that, back in season 17, I don't know if we would have expanded to 32 teams. So, Sean Kosher, he took over the role of entering scores for me on a daily basis. And knowing RBM and any leagues you commission as a whole, this is a major role in the league, having to enter 32 scores on a daily basis for 2.5 weeks. But I do give him a half a week vacation between seasons, so it's okay. Bragan Kelly for catching my interest in the RFL and setting the stage for the RBM League. All the season 1 OGs that have been around for the 54 seasons. And no relation to the RBM world, but my friend Samuel Deacon, when I told him that I was doing this last night, he just wanted me to give him a quick shout out. So there you go, Sam. Lastly, I wanted to give a shout out to you two guys for building the RBL. You guys have had a vision since day one, and you have stuck to it. I'm honored to be a part of this podcast, and I'm looking forward to the future of RBL. I'm sure there's several other people I'm missing, but just want to thank everyone who has been a part of the RBM League.
Thank you for that, Alex. But really, if it wasn't for your passion starting the RBM, this all wouldn't be a thing. And
Thank you.
you know, it's you advertising it, you recruiting really brought us here, and thank you for letting us be a part of it too. So
Yeah, I'm glad to have everyone here part of the community, the vegetable community. So
no, it's
built so
awesome
many different friendships and lasting connections.
for sure. No matter where this goes, we're all connected now. Like, it's never gonna go away.
Hmm.
If I may, really quickly, I just also want to say thank you to you because I still remember. I think it was when I first joined the league. It was my very first league ever playing. I was so hesitant for so long. Do this. I think you enjoy it. I was so nervous, but once I started doing it, I saw the community that you built and everything. I was like, okay, you know what? This is fun. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. So without you, Brian, that you built, I wouldn't be in this world. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad to have you, and especially in RBWF.
Yeah.
Too cool just hit their
Still,
49-day title streak mark.
can you
Longest streak in RBWF championship history.
That's awesome.
You're never gonna lose those titles.
That's awesome. Well, Alex, thank you for hopping on today. Honored to have you as our first guest on Retrobit Unplugged. This will definitely be one that people go back to and watch. But I just want to say thank you again, and loved having you on our podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And there you have it, folks. That is the interview with Mr. Alex Ray. I thought that went very well. I don't know about you, but it was very intriguing, and I learned a lot actually from.
No, I learned a lot too. I think what caught me off guard the most, I was not expecting him on a Sunday to be at school. So he not only
he was at school.
Not only did he school us in that interview, but he was at school too. So, but no, I think Alex did a great job. What was some key moments you think from that?
I think really for me when he would mention about his favorite league moments being like when the new players finally win the Super Bowl or the Super Bowl Retro Bowl. Thank you. I don't know what we call it. Pretty much whenever like a new player wins for the first time and the joy it brings, like that's just a great thing to love. It builds a community. Like that's a huge backbone of why his league is so successful to this point. It's gone on for 55, 56 seasons at this point. Yeah. So great community there. I also love his passion for wanting the game to be more league friendly, which I also agree because this game is not very league friendly at some points.
No, I mean think about what we have to do for CFL. Like we don't even have a real screen.
We are almost 7 updates in this game, and we still don't have the restart screen for college.
You know what's ironic is CFL. We are over a year in with this game, and we're still technically on beta.
Give us a restart screen, man. So I'm getting sick of having to explain to everyone how to do the restart method. I'll do it. I love our people and everyone in CFL. I love you dearly, but it's a process.
It is it's funny is the other day is one of the RBM players submitted a CFL style score.
I saw that.
Scores. So I think they got to do something. It's got to be better. So, but no, the other thing that was I had no idea. So this because you've seen me play it, but I have it on my phone too and on my computer. Roller Coaster Tycoon, like I
knew you were gonna love that.
We have a segment. I'm gonna leak a little bit of a show later down the road. I almost wonder if I need to swap out Roller Coaster Tycoon with one of our favorite 8-bit games. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna check that list though. Because that one might have to make the list. I'm just saying.
That classified as 8-bit. Like I've seen you play it. That doesn't. To me, that doesn't feel like an 8-bit game.
It might be 16-bit.
I might have a different meaning of 8-bit than you do. So maybe
it might be 16-bit because you can change perspectives. But I'll do the research. So, just like I did the research on Wongsetto before the game.
Can we stop with this?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not letting you live it down yet.
He won't bat over 300 this year.
Well, he is only batting 250, so, and 300's like Hall of Famer, which no. But I am gonna repeat some of the shout outs. I'm just gonna kind of run through them real quick, but Eric Q, Tyler Harris,
not me.
OG from the 1XL League, Sean, Brigham Kelly, all
Sean
this.
Who? There's 2 Seans.
I'm gonna butcher his last name. I think it's Kosher.
There you go.
The one that plays football. Shout out to his team. I think they're in the early stages of the preseason. All the season 1 OGs. I think there's like 7 or 8 left from RBM. And then Mr. Samuel Deacon. I'm going to give you one more shout out because he means somebody very special to Alex. So, that being said, great job, Alex. We appreciate you being on the show. I am not going to tell you who today, but we did confirm a date and time for our big interview.
You're not going to want to miss this one.
That one is going to be huge, but not leaking any information. Nope. We're about two-ish weeks away from that. So a week and a half from that interview. That'll be exciting. So with that being said, hot takes. Who was going first today?
Who went first last time?
I don't remember, but
you did.
You know what? I did. All right, then you go first. I heard yours is something about Cheeto infused chicken tenders today.
No.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad we scratched that one out. So.
What is wrong with you?
So much.
Cheeto infused chicken tenders.
Yeah, well, you know.
Is the meat the Cheetos or is the skin the Cheetos or like
the breading? Use the Cheetos for breading.
Okay, well actually that might not be terrible.
Flamin' hot?
No.
I mean, Taco Bell does every flavor of Doritos as taco shells, so why not?
Yeah, but see that I think that kind of works though, does it not? A taco shell is kind of like a chip.
I might make people mad. Yeah, but I don't want to take a bite of a ranch flavored taco.
No, I get that, but like the concept, it's kind of like a chip.
The concept's there. Yes, the concept.
Okay.
Okay. So.
We almost had a whole other hot take segment right there.
Almost had a whole other hot take. But Tyler, what's your hot take this week?
Bowling is an Olympic sport, or should be at least.
Bowling should be an Olympic sport. I don't know about that.
You can't talk because your favorite sport.
Don't you dare!
Is curling.
Don't you dare bash on my curling.
What is so different about curling and bowling that makes bowling not an Olympic sport?
You have to do it on ice.
Okay, why should curling be an Olympic sport?
Because it's a Viking sport.
Okay, usually the Olympics is a show of what?
Skill.
Okay, what's the skill in curling?
The ability to slide on ice and get a stone in a specific spot.
So you're telling me that is considered an Olympic sport, but bowling is not?
Yeah, you just throw a little round pebble down a lane.
With curling, you push like a weighted like giant hockey puck, and then you mop the floor.
Yes, it's important.
In bowling, you have to. There's strategy and skill in that.
You know, how about this?
You have oil patterns you have to look at. You have to know which bowling ball to bring on said oil pattern because some might not work. You have to know which board you're playing. You have to know.
Maybe that's the problem.
Your lane conditions will change throughout the whole game. Like you're constantly.
But curling, all the stones are the same. In bowling, you can have different size balls.
What?
Because can't you have different weights?
Yeah, but it doesn't change anything.
It could change. What I'm saying
at a professional level, every pro is using 14 to 16 pound bowling balls.
All right. Well, when they get baseball back into the Olympics, we'll talk about bowling. How about that?
Baseball's coming back?
No, it hasn't yet. So, which is a shame. So, but I don't know. I don't think.
Why are you so against this?
What are we gonna do? Bring golf and darts into Olympics?
shooting is an Olympic sport. You're telling me shooting and bowling it can be?
On that terrible disappointment, we're gonna go into our next hot take.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right. Well, bowling, Olympic sport. We'll see. Anyway, what is the one thing that has been a problem with Major League Baseball?
Ghost runners.
That is true.
I hate the ghost runners so much.
I agree, which does lead into what I think they should change. What was the second thing that they've been trying to do over the last 2-3 seasons? They introduced something.
Robo-umps.
No, not yet. Not yet. What was wrong with the game for fans?
You said it involves the ghost runner rule?
It does involve the ghost runner rule.
Oh, because the games went too long.
Way too long. So they did a pitch clock. Which has helped.
And then they added the ghost runner for extra innings because they would
Correct.
Just go forever.
Correct. My hot take, eliminate the extra innings altogether. I think that the Pioneer League of knockout rule should be implemented in the MLB.
I'm gonna get a little. Is this what the Vibes did?
This is Pioneer League is the Colorado Springs
Shut up,
Vibe.
stop on the Vibes. You guys are lit.
They are hands down the best mascot.
Toasty, yo, I love you, my man.
Yeah,
I love you.
Maybe we can get a follow from the Colorado Springs Vibes. That'd be cool.
Under the Rocky Mountain.
Rocky Mountain Vibes. Sorry,
yeah, say your name right. Come on.
Rocky Mountain Vibes.
And Toasty.
I challenge to get a follow from Toasty. So, but I'll explain it for those that don't know. So the knockout rule that resolves the tied games with a head-to-head sudden death home run duel. Under the rule, each team designates a hitter who receives 5 pitches, with the game determined by the most home runs hit. It is still tied after the first knockout round, another hitter is selected for a sudden death home run face-off until a winner is declared. So essentially, bring hockey post-overtime rules shootout to Major League Baseball. Get rid of the extra innings. Don't even give me the 2 a.m. games anymore. Screw that. I want to see Shohei in Sacramento ballpark trying to hit home runs to win a game for the Dodgers.
Okay. Follow-up questions I have next. I have ideas.
Okay.
Does it need to call in shootouts in hockey?
Mm-hmm.
Each goal technically counts as a goal. So, like, if a team is tied 2-2 going into a shootout, the winning goal is counted as a point. So it's 3. The team would win 3-2 the shootout.
Yes.
Would that apply to baseball? So
yes.
if a team's going to the knockout rule tied 4-4, the winning home run will be counted as a run, and that team would win 5-4.
Correct.
Is it a neutral pitcher, or is it like the pitching coach for each team?
No. It would be you can select any one of your own pitchers.
Would it affect the ERA?
No.
Damn, that would be cool though.
Does not affect the ERA.
Does it affect home run stat?
No.
So in this knockout, no stats are counted at all.
No. The only thing that it would count for. No, I think it. The only thing.
Or do you give it its own category?
I think you give it its own category. I think you call it
knockout, like it's knockout hitting.
Knockout RBI or something.
No, because it's RBI, you're 1 RBI per home run. So would you just do home run, slugging, and then your batting average?
Yeah, I think you do a whole category. It doesn't count towards, but you do a whole new category.
And this just keeps going until someone wins. Like it just.
Correct.
So if the Chicago White Sox, so you tell me teams can now here's my next point. I just thought about this now. I was about to say it. A bad team. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry I used to you. Like the White Sox from last year. If they've
been relegated.
If they had this rule, single. If they had this rule, mm-hmm. Sometimes all they really have to do is just keep the game tied. That's a hard ask for that team sometimes, but if they can at least keep the game tied and not focus on scoring runs and get to the derby, per se, anyone could win. So then you could have bad teams winning some more games because if they get in the mindset of well, we're not going to score here, just get to the Derby and then we'll try and win there.
Yes. Yes.
I'll put a mindset in the Elite Series for the White Sox and beat the Sweet Dodgers just on home run derbies. That'd be kind of cool.
It would be cool. You could just it would bring an aspect of the game.
The fan interaction would be. Mm-hmm. Could this also affect home run derby during the All-Star break selections? Or do you go strictly off of regular season, just in-game home run count? Or do you just go off of... I think
you got to keep home run count. So if, like... I can't see it. If Juan Soto has like, 25 home runs by the All-Star break, and he's clearly someone who could be eligible for the home run derby, but then let's say there's another player who has maybe 7 home runs for in-game, but come knockout rule, he has like 15, 20. Would that also make him count for home run derby status, or do you strictly leave it with anyone in for regular season, in-season home runs? Regulation.
Okay.
Regulation stats. So.
Okay. That's all. That's all my questions. I'm just trying to figure out like exactly how this would work.
I think it needs to be brought. It's been tested enough. What it does is it, especially in late season games, you're not killing your pitchers making a playoff run, because it's that, like, every time you have to go 13, 14 innings, you're playing another half a game. You get a third baseman having to pitch an inning for the bottom of the 14th. This eliminates that. You have pitchers that stay healthy. They stay, their quote-unquote stamina, everything is still top-notch. It adds an element to the game.
It would. I don't really see a negative to it.
I don't either.
Do you?
I don't see a negative. I think it, from a fan aspect, it'd be fun. How many tied games are there? I didn't do the research on that, but how many tied games were there after that went into extras? Fans get to see home run balls, moon balls. Can you imagine another Yankees-Dodger and they send out Shohei and Aaron Judge to do a knockout?
Did this apply in the playoffs too?
I think playoffs you have to leave extra innings.
Okay.
I think you have to leave extra innings. Get rid of that stupid ghost runner rule.
There's no ghost runner in postseason.
I think you just do it for regular season to keep your team healthy for the playoffs, and then in playoffs, because they do that now in NHL, right? You don't go to a shootout.
No. In regular season, it's one overtime period, 3-on-3, and then shootout. Yeah. And then, but come playoff time, it's continuous 5-on-5 overtime.
Right. I think you do the same thing. Baseball. So regular season, knockout. You get to the playoffs. You can have a.
So it goes back to regular format.
Regular format.
Okay. Yeah. Then that makes.
You're gonna see players healthier, deeper in the year.
Especially pitchers.
Pitchers for sure.
I like it.
All right.
I like it a lot, actually.
Thank you. So, MLB, if you're listening, take notes at the meetings next year. But with that, episode 4 is a wrap. Super exciting stuff. I do want to shout out. I'm looking at the calendar. We are 6 days away from recording this for Bit Bowl dropping. Shout out over to Matt.
12th. You are correct. Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Matt over at the creator of Bitball. I can't believe that he also partnership with the Portland
Pickles.
The Portland Pickles will be in the game, so shout out to the Portland Pickles. Portland, I know they still want an MLB team, but they got this. So, but with that, I do want to do shout out one more time to Alex. I want to thank all the listeners. Please check us out on YouTube at RetroBit Unplugged. Check us out on TikTok, also RetroBit Unplugged. We are on Spotify, if that's what you're listening this on. Catch us on the go. We're on Amazon Music and Apple Music right now.
Apple Podcast, you mean?
Sorry, Apple Podcast.
He's older. He doesn't understand.
But please, if you made it this far, hopefully you've liked what we have. Please drop us a like, subscribe.
And please, people, I am the editor of this most of the time. He helps, but most of the time it's me. if you have any recommendations for anything, do not be afraid to put them in the comments on the YouTube videos, or send a message on some. We aren't going to attack you for them. We will take recommendations. Anything you want, you can come up with show ideas. And maybe there's something you guys want to have us talk about. We'll talk about it sometimes.
Yeah.
So anything, and for my YouTube people, always remember, podcast audio form comes out usually on what days?
With the interviews, it takes a few days. Normally, we try to be out.
Yeah, usually this episode would have been out.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday YouTube videos dropping.
Yeah, so usually audio form comes out first, and then video form comes out about 2 days later. Sometimes 3 if it takes a little longer to edit.
But yeah, subscribe, follow, listen, and with that, keep it real.
Vamos Kings.